Welcome to Secrets of USA Coins, where today we unlock the vault on 6 ultra-rare standing Liberty quarters that collectors are chasing with unstoppable passion. These coins aren't just valuable, they're like holding a fortune in your palm. Some people will walk past them without knowing, while others realize they're sitting on a piece of wealth that rivals a hidden chest of gold. Stay with me until the very end, because each coin we reveal climbs higher in rarity, higher in mystery, and higher in value. And when I tell you the staggering prices these coins are commanding in today's auction market, you'll see why coin collectors are calling them not just collectibles, but treasures that secure a legacy. Coin number 1. The story begins with a year carved in American memory, 1929. This was the year of the Wall Street crash, when the United States was thrust into the Great Depression. Families were struggling, jobs were lost, and yet through those hard years, coins like the standing Liberty Quarter were still being passed from pocket to pocket. Among them, one coin minted in Denver, marked with the tiny D beneath the eagle on the reverse, has risen today to become a crown jewel for collectors. The standing Liberty Quarter itself was introduced in 1916, replacing the Barber Quarter. Its design, crafted by sculptor Herman A. McNeil, was more than just currency, it was a symbol of America's ideals. On the obverse, Lady Liberty stands proud, draped in flowing robes, a shield in her left hand, and an olive branch in her right. She wasn't just standing, she was guarding the nation, offering peace and ready for defense. This was art meeting patriotism, engraved into pure silver. The coin was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it not only intrinsic value, but a shimmer that collectors still admire today. But what makes the 1929 with D stand apart is not just its history or metal, it's the fact that production numbers were drastically lower than earlier issues. The Denver Mint struck a limited quantity, and with the economic chaos of the Depression, many coins were heavily circulated, leaving very few survivors in collectible condition. Now here's where things turn extraordinary. A 1929 with D standing Liberty Quarter in fine condition is not just an antique. It's a rarity so powerful that collectors in today's market are willing to battle fiercely in auctions just to secure one. Its unique features, the bold D mint mark, the details still visible in Liberty's gown and shield despite circulation, the historic aura of the year 1929, all come together to make this coin a magnet of desire. And then comes the shocking truth, the price. This exact coin, in the condition I'm describing, has been commanding prices as high as $195,000 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard me right, $195,000. That's not a fantasy, not a made-up figure. This is current, real, and absolutely documented in the collector world. Owning this coin is like discovering a treasure chest in your own pocket. Its market value is not standing still. It is climbing, day by day, as demand skyrockets. Wait a little longer, and its value will rise even higher. Think about it. This isn't just wealth, it's legacy wealth. A coin like this transforms your collection into a fortress of history and value. And for those hunting, the key is simple. Condition is everything. Look for the details in Liberty's shield, the date's clarity, and above all, that tiny but powerful D mint mark. That's the fingerprint of rarity. Collectors who own a 1929 with D in fine or better condition don't just have a coin, they have a treasure locked in silver, a piece of American heritage that secures not just their investment, but their place in numismatic history. And that's just coin number 1. What's coming next will shock you even more, because the deeper we dive, the rarer and more astonishing these standing Liberty quarters become. Coin number 2. As we turn the page from 1929 to 1926, we uncover yet another legendary piece of American history, a coin that today sits like a shining beacon in the world of rare collectibles, the 1926 D Standing Liberty Quarter. Now, if you thought coin number 1 was astonishing, brace yourself. Because this coin is cloaked in even deeper rarity, and its story is just as breathtaking. The year 1926 was a period of optimism in America, the Roaring Twenties. Industry was booming, jazz was echoing through nightclubs, and the spirit of invention was sweeping across the nation. Yet inside the Denver Mint, something quietly remarkable was being pressed into silver, the Standing Liberty Quarter with the now fabled D Mint mark. Just like her sisters from earlier years, this coin carries the incredible design of Herman A. McNeil. Lady Liberty once again stands proudly in her flowing gown, shield in one hand, olive branch in the other, a guardian of the nation's values. The reverse still bears the powerful image of an eagle soaring high across the American sky, wings stretched wide in triumph. And let's not forget, the composition remained that stunning blend of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both artistry and lasting strength. But the 1926 with D was never a common coin. The Denver Mint produced a remarkably low mintage that year, so few in fact, that collectors today whisper its name with awe. Over the decades, most of these coins were lost in circulation, their features worn down to faint outlines. Very few survived in very fine condition, where the details of Liberty's gown, shield, and date remain strikingly visible. And when such a survivor appears in the marketplace, collectors know they are facing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Its unique features set it apart instantly. The bold D mint mark stands like a secret code, confirming its Denver birth. On the obverse, Liberty's gown shows folds and details still sharp enough to stir admiration. On the reverse, the eagle's wings retain a majesty that speaks of the era's craftsmanship. It's these details, rarely seen after nearly a century, that elevate the 1926D into the stratosphere of coin collecting. And here comes the breathtaking reality. A 1926 with D Standing Liberty Quarter in very fine condition has a current market value of $205,000. That's right, $205,000. This is not a dream. This is not a fable. This is happening in real auction rooms today. Coins like this are commanding treasure-level prices, and the collectors who secure them know they hold something beyond wealth. It is a fragment of American legacy. What makes it even more thrilling is that this value is not fixed. It is climbing relentlessly. The demand for Standing Liberty Quarters has ignited in recent years, and each passing day, their worth grows stronger. Owning this coin is like locking away a silver time capsule that keeps multiplying in value as history and rarity compound. For collectors, the tip is clear. When hunting for a 1926 with D, condition reigns supreme. Very fine condition or better is the golden ticket. Look for strong date clarity, a visible shield, and that undeniable D mint mark. If you ever encounter such a coin, treat it not as currency, but as a treasure chest in miniature, because that is what it truly is. Those who hold this coin know they don't just have a quarter, they have a fortune pressed in silver, a coin whose story spans nearly a century and whose value is destined to climb higher still. And remember, we are only on coin number 2. The deeper we go, the more extraordinary, more shocking, and more priceless these Standing Liberty Quarters become. Stay tuned, because what's next is going to lift this journey into even greater heights. Coin number 3. By the time we reach the year 1924, the Standing Liberty Quarter had already cemented itself as one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage. But the story of the 1924 S Standing Liberty Quarter is something altogether different. A story of scarcity, survival, and a coin so elusive that collectors worldwide recognize it as a pinnacle of numismatic achievement. The year 1924 was part of a post-war America still redefining itself. The Roaring Twenties were in full swing, jazz was pulsing through the air, and prosperity seemed within reach for many. Yet, at the San Francisco Mint, minting figures told a different story. The mintage of the 1924 S was strikingly low compared to its Philadelphia counterparts, and what few coins were produced entered heavy circulation almost immediately. This coin carries the unforgettable design of Herman A. McNeil capturing the nation's ideals through Lady Liberty. On the obverse, she stands tall, shield in one hand, olive branch in the other, her figure not just an image, but a message: strength, peace, and vigilance. On the reverse, the mighty eagle soars across the sky, wings stretched in glory, forever frozen in silver. Its composition, like its siblings, was 90% silver and 10% copper, a mix that ensured resilience but also gave it that unmistakable luster collectors crave. What makes the 1924 with S stand apart is its unique features and rarity. The small but powerful S mint mark at the base of the reverse announces its origin from the San Francisco Mint. And here's the twist. Most 1924S coins were circulated so aggressively that by the time collectors realized their rarity, very few remained in collectible condition. A 1924S that has survived in very fine condition is a near miracle. The folds of Liberty's gown remain visible, her shield still bears definition, and the eagle's feathers echo the hand of the engraver from nearly a century ago. This combination of history, beauty, and rarity makes the 1924 with S one of the most desirable standing Liberty quarters ever struck. Collectors know immediately when they see it. This is not just a coin, it is a prized artifact of American heritage. And here comes the thunderous reveal. A 1924 with S standing Liberty quarter in very fine condition commands a staggering current market value of $212,000. Yes, $212,000. That is not fiction, not wishful thinking, but today's reality in the auction market. When this coin appears, bidders compete fiercely, pushing the value into treasure-level territory. Holding this coin is not just like owning silver, it is like owning a fortune compressed into a single, breathtaking piece of history. Even more exciting, its value is not capped. The demand is surging, the rarity is absolute, and the market for standing Liberty quarters is burning hotter than ever. Each passing day, the 1924 with S inches closer to the realm of legend, and the collectors who secure it know they have something that can only rise in worth. So what's the collector's tip? Always focus on condition. Very fine or higher makes all the difference. Look for coins with crisp dates, clear details in Liberty's shield, and, most importantly, that definitive S mint mark. Without it, you're holding an ordinary quarter. With it, you're holding a treasure beyond imagination. To own a 1924 with S in very fine condition is to hold in your hand not just wealth, but a legacy sealed in silver, a rare survivor of the San Francisco Mint's low production, and a piece of American history that continues to rise in glory. And remember, we are only halfway through this incredible list. If you thought $212,000 was beyond imagination, wait until you see what the next coins bring to the table. The treasures are only getting rarer, only getting more shocking, and the values, well, they might just leave you speechless. Coin number 4. By the time 1927 arrived, America was in the heart of the roaring decade. The jazz age was alive, the stock market was climbing, and yet beneath the surface, whispers of an economic storm were brewing. Amidst this backdrop, the U.S. Mint continued pressing out standing Liberty quarters, coins that looked like ordinary silver in the hands of everyday Americans, but which today have revealed themselves to be nothing short of hidden treasures. The 1927 standing Liberty quarter, struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, is one of those deceptively simple coins. To the untrained eye, it might look like a regular quarter, just another piece of pocket change from nearly a century ago. But collectors know the truth. This coin carries a scarcity and value that makes it stand apart, like a crown jewel in the world of numismatics. The artistry of Herman A. McNeil was still at the forefront here. Lady Liberty stands bold and vigilant on the obverse, her shield raised in one hand, the olive branch extended in the other. She is grace and strength combined, a reflection of America's ideals in silver. On the reverse, the soaring eagle continues its flight, wings spread wide, symbolizing freedom and ambition. And like its predecessors, the coin is struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, a blend that has preserved its brilliance through generations. But the story of the 1927 Philadelphia issue lies in its survival. Philadelphia produced large quantities of coins, but most were used heavily in circulation. The constant exchange of hands, purchases, and daily wear meant that most coins from this year were rubbed down to faint outlines. To find one in circulated condition that still retains clear features, legible dates, and recognizable artistry is already an achievement. And here's the twist. Despite being circulated, this coin commands an extraordinary level of respect and desire among collectors because of its unique place in the Standing Liberty Quarter series. Its unique feature? The absence of any mint mark, telling us it came from Philadelphia, the mother mint of America. While that might sound common, the rarity arises from the way so few examples have survived the passage of time with any collectible quality left. Each surviving 1927 quarter is a fragment of history, worn, yes, but still breathing the spirit of its era. Now, let's reveal the staggering reality. A 1927 Standing Liberty quarter without mint mark in circulated condition is currently valued at a jaw-dropping $210,000 in the auction market. $210,000 for a coin that once may have purchased a simple meal or been tucked into a child's hand as allowance. And yet here it stands, nearly a century later, transformed into a treasure worth more than most people can imagine. And let me be clear, this is not hype. This is the truth of today's collector market. This coin is not just surviving, it is thriving in value, rising steadily as demand intensifies. What was once a $quarter piece of currency has now evolved into a silver time capsule of immense wealth, a treasure chest compressed into the palm of your hand. For collectors, the tip here is crucial. Never overlook circulated coins. Even with wear, even with age, they can hold fortunes if they belong to the right series and year. Always check the date, study the design, and recognize the silent power of coins that history has touched. To own a 1927 Standing Liberty quarter in circulated condition is to hold a piece of American endurance. It's a reminder that even through time, wear, and countless exchanges, true value rises above all else. And as the market continues to climb, this coin's story of survival will only add to its growing legacy. And keep watching, we still have 2 more coins to go. If you think the numbers so far are breathtaking, The next chapters in this treasure hunt will push the limits even further. Coin number 5. As we trace the path of America's rarest quarters, we now step back to the year 1918, a year when the world itself was at a crossroads. The First World War had just ended, soldiers were returning home, and the United States was beginning to redefine its place on the global stage. Amid this turbulent backdrop, the Philadelphia Mint released the 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter, a coin that would go on to become one of the most coveted treasures in American numismatics. To the casual eye, this coin might look like any other Standing Liberty Quarter, but those who know the series understand instantly that this is a coin of remarkable weight and significance. Designed by the masterful Herman A. McNeil, it still carries the unforgettable imagery of Lady Liberty, standing tall with her shield and olive branch. But in 1918, the design had just undergone subtle modifications, most notably the covering of Liberty's exposed chest, after controversy from the earlier issues. That makes this year particularly important because it represents the transition between the bold original design and the more conservative revised look. Its composition remained the classic 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it that unmistakable shimmer that only silver can hold, even after more than a century. On the reverse, the eagle continues its eternal flight across the American sky, wings stretched wide, symbolizing the country's soaring ambition after victory in war. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1918 no-mint mark quarter so unique. Being struck in Philadelphia, this coin bears no mint mark, but don't let that simplicity fool you. What makes it extraordinary is the year itself. 1918 was a time when most coins entered immediate circulation, heavily used in the booming post-war economy. Very few were set aside, and even fewer have survived in very fine condition today. To encounter one where Liberty's details are still bold, the date sharp, and the eagle's feathers still visible is to come face to face with a century-old masterpiece. Collectors prize this coin for its historical weight just as much as for its rarity. It's not just a quarter, it's a silver witness to the end of one of the world's greatest wars, a coin that jingled in the pockets of Americans living through a defining moment of the 20th century. And here is the breathtaking truth. A 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter, without mint mark, in very fine condition, is commanding a market value of $228,000 in today's auction world. That's right, $228,000. Not a fantasy, not an exaggeration, but the documented reality of the numismatic marketplace. This is the kind of coin that transforms an ordinary collection into a fortress of wealth, the kind of coin that instantly places its owner among the elite of coin collectors. Even more stunning is the fact that its value is climbing relentlessly. Each year, as more collectors enter the hunt and fewer surviving examples surface, the price surges higher. This isn't just money, it's treasure. A coin like this is a vault of wealth, a treasure chest pressed into a single, shining disc of silver. For collectors, the tip here is straightforward, yet powerful. Pay attention to detail. Study the date carefully. 1918 is a landmark year. And condition is everything. Very fine examples with sharp details are not just rare, they are virtually irreplaceable. If you ever come across one, you are not just finding a coin, you are holding a slice of history transformed into fortune. The 1918 no-mint mark Standing Liberty Quarter proves that beauty, rarity, and history can combine into something far greater than the sum of its parts. It's more than silver, more than art, it's a treasure that makes you rich overnight, a legacy in your pocket, a monument of value that keeps growing stronger every day. And remember, we still have one more standing Liberty Quarter to reveal, the rarest and most shocking of them all. Stay tuned, because what comes next will leave you in awe. Coin number 6. Our journey now arrives at the year 1920, a year of new beginnings for America. The war was behind, the roaring decade was beginning, and the standing Liberty Quarter was already a symbol of strength, peace, and artistry. Yet from this year, one particular coin stands tall in the spotlight. The 1920 standing Liberty Quarter struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark. At first glance, this coin might appear ordinary. It carries no mint mark, just the plain authority of the Philadelphia Mint. But don't be fooled, this is no ordinary quarter. This coin has emerged as one of the most desirable standing Liberty Quarters ever struck, and its rarity makes it a cornerstone of numismatic treasure. The artistry of Herman A. McNeil is once again on full display. Lady Liberty dominates the obverse, her stance firm, her shield braced, her olive branch extended, a promise of both peace and protection. Her figure is finely detailed, and in very fine condition. The folds of her gown still flow with clarity, her shield bears definition, and her presence feels almost alive. On the reverse, the eagle soars high, wings wide, embodying the ambition of a young and rising America. The composition remained the timeless blend of 90% silver and 10% copper, a mixture that not only ensured durability, but also carried that undeniable shimmer of real silver, a shimmer that still catches light nearly a century later. What makes the 1920 no mint mark quarter so rare is not just its design, but its survival. This was a coin born into an economy that relied heavily on coinage. Most 1920 quarters were circulated to exhaustion, their dates rubbed off, their details worn flat. To find one today in very fine condition is like discovering a survivor against impossible odds. It means the coin retains sharp lines, visible artistry, and undeniable character, even after passing through countless hands of history. Collectors prize it for its unique place in time. 1920 was the dawn of a new decade, an era that carried the optimism of progress but also the challenges of transition. The standing Liberty Quarter from this year carries that energy within its silver surface, making it more than currency. It's a historical emblem. And then comes the revelation, a 1920 standing Liberty Quarter without mint mark, in very fine condition, is commanding a staggering market value of $225,000 in today's auctions. Yes, $225,000 for a single quarter. Not a fantasy, not a whisper, but a reality that is shaking the collector's world. The truth is undeniable. This coin is not just wealth, it's treasure. Its value is soaring, and it grows stronger with time. The market is hungry for it, the demand is relentless, and each passing year, the 1920 no mint mark quarter cements itself further as one of the most desirable pieces of American coinage. Wait, and you'll see its value climb even higher, as rarity and demand push it beyond today's already shocking heights. For collectors, here's the timeless tip: always respect the survivors. A circulated coin may hold stories, but a coin in very fine condition or higher is a fortune waiting to be discovered. Study the date carefully, cherish the details, and never underestimate the power of the Philadelphia issues without mint marks. To own this coin is to own a silver fortress of value, a piece of history that transforms into wealth with every tick of the clock. It's not just part of a collection, it's a legacy, a treasure chest hidden in plain sight. And with that, we conclude our journey through 6 of the most extraordinary standing Liberty quarters ever struck. From 1929 to 1918, from Denver to San Francisco to Philadelphia, each coin tells its own story of beauty, resilience, and rarity. Together, they form a collection that is nothing short of legendary. Remember, this is why Secrets of USA Coins exists. We bring you the truth, the treasures, and the stories of coins that can change lives. Subscribe, stay with us, and never miss an update, because tomorrow's video might just reveal the next great treasure waiting to be uncovered.